अच्छा इसमें स्क्रीन नजर आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
चलो ठीक है, we're doing an ADB पेपर, ठीक है।
Okay.
और ये है मार्च 22, ठीक है, क्वेश्चन पेपर 6-2। So starting with the first question, वो कह रहा है कि कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट, ठीक है, the first one, calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, the product of the reaction are, तो उसे सारा दिया हुआ है, calcium carbonate, carbonates, remember whenever they react with HCl, so they would form calcium chloride plus water plus salt water and carbon dioxide, right? So a student investigated the rate of the reaction between calcium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid using the apparatus. So जब आप rate measure करते हो ना, rate, speed of reaction, what you do is you try to measure the change, any change that's happening with respect to time. The stopwatch से ना you measure how quickly something changes. So if the change is happening very slowly and taking a very long time, so that means the reaction is slow. अगर वो change बहुत जल्दी हो रही है, तो reaction is very fast. That change could be anything. It could be a color change. It could be a mass change. यहाँ पे he's looking for a mass change. Why would there be a mass change? क्योंकि carbon dioxide gas is going to escape the solution. So bubbles will form, and your carbon dioxide gas is going to, your wool sabina, it's going to pass through the wool and it will leave the container. So the mass will decrease. So if the mass decreases very, very quickly, so that means the reaction is very fast. If the mass decreases very, very slowly, so that means the reaction is going to be very, very, it's going to be very slow. तो अभी उस पर डिपेंड करता है, ठीक है। तो first part, mass of the flask and the content was recorded every 30 seconds. When the reaction stopped, there were still small pieces of calcium carbonate in the flask. State what happens to the reading of the balance as the reaction takes place. Explain your answer. Reading on the balance, okay, it decreases. That's the first part. So why does it decrease? Carbon dioxide escapes. So the mass of solution decreases. ठीक है, clear है?
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a piece of cotton wool in the neck of the flask. Suggests why a bung is not used in the neck of rubber bung. क्यों नहीं use करते? क्योंकि obviously then the carbon dioxide will not be able to escape. And if the carbon dioxide is not able to escape the container, the solution will, the container will not lose mass. So there's not going to be any change in mass. They suggest why cotton wool is placed in the neck of the flask rather than leaving the flask open. तो मुझे था कि आइए अब थोड़ी common sense use करो. ये open भी तो रख सकते हैं. Why do you place a wool over there? What's the purpose of placing a wool?
So that the acid doesn't splash.
ठीक है, क्योंकि ना remember carbonate से होते हैं ना bubbles बनते हैं, so it's like Coke के अंदर you've seen bubbles forming, right? So a lot of times those bubbles they come out of the flask, right? So the wool will prevent that, ठीक है? So that's known as acid spray. To prevent loss in mass due to acid spray. अच्छा, suggest which reactant is in excess. तो उसने खुद बताया है कि he said over here that the calcium carbonate, even after the reaction, when the reaction had stopped, you still had small pieces of calcium carbonate. So that means that was the one that was added in excess. वो ज़्यादा डाला हुआ था ना, so there was still unused calcium carbonate. ठीक है? Is that clear?
Yes.
Describe how crystals of calcium chloride can be obtained from the mixture left in the flask after the reaction has stopped. First thing, remove or filter out excess calcium carbonate. ये excess method है, ठीक है? इसके अंदर excess calcium carbonate पड़ा हुआ है ना, so you filter that out. Now your solution only has calcium chloride. The hydrochloric acid had already reacted completely. There was at the end of the reaction there was calcium carbonate left, so you would remove the excess by filtering it. और आपके solution में क्या होगा फिर? Calcium chloride plus water होगा. Carbon dioxide तो वैसे ही ऊपर से उड़ चुकी होगी ना, escape कर चुकी होगी. तो क्या steps होते हैं crystallization के? It's a 3-mark question. What would you write for crystallization?
Wash, dry, and then let it cool.
नहीं, पहले crystals के साथ form करोगे. You have a solution with you right now.
So first of all, we will heat the solution.
ठीक है, so you're going to heat the solution. Why? Because you want to evaporate the water. Until what? Until crystallization point is reached. अब फिर ये होगा कि cool gradually. And filter any crystals that are formed. So you're going to filter any crystals that are formed. अच्छा, अब ये कि एक सेकेंड. अच्छा, और क्या होगा कि उसे क्या कि it's you have to dry it as well or not? नहीं, that's it, just crystals formed. Dry crystals in between filter papers. ठीक है, क्लियर है ये ATP के अंदर. Remember this, how crystallization happens. ठीक है. ठीक है, क्लियर है. आगे मूव करें.
Yeah.
Yes.
अच्छा, अगला पार्ट. ठीक है, ये काफी ज्यादा चीजें हो रही है. A student investigated the temperature change when anhydrous lithium chloride dissolves in water. ठीक है, so lithium is group 1, chloride is group 7, so lithium chloride. So dissolves in water. He did 6 experiments. One, using a measuring cylinder, 30 cm3 of distilled water was poured into a 100 cm3 beaker. The initial temperature of the water was measured. The beaker में ना he added this. अच्छा, beaker में you had 30 cm3 water, right? और उसमें अंदर he's adding 1 gram of lithium chloride. And the timer was started, or the water and lithium chloride mixture was constantly stirred using a thermometer. The temperature of the mixture was measured after 30 seconds. The beaker was rinsed with distilled water. Okay, so that's what's happening. Okay, he measured the initial temperature and then he measures the temperature after 30 seconds. So experiment 1 was repeated using 1.5. So the first experiment was 1 gram. Now he does it for 1.5 grams of as a first part, 1.5 grams. Then he did it for 2 grams instead of the 1 gram, and then he did it for 2.5 gram. But see difference are, I think, 3 grams. So he keeps on increasing the mass. That's it. Okay, so take down the readings for the temperature for the first one. The 1 gram tha na, initial temperature, that's, and then after 30 seconds. So mujhe values bata, what's the value for this one?
21.
Okay, that's 21 degrees centigrade. वो लिखा हुआ उसने. What's the second? What's this?
25.5.
Okay, that's 25.5. So what's the temperature change? 4.5.
4.5.
So अगला बताओ.
21.
Okay, the next one is 21 again. What's this now?
27.5.
So temperature change kya hoga? That's
6.5.
what's the
21.
look at that 30. So that's 9.
Yes.
Pick quickly. What is this? 21.5 now?
Yes.
You get that 32.5.
2.5.
So what's the change? 11.11?
Yes.
3 grams, that's 21.5, I think, gain, and this one is what, 34?
34.
So kya aa raha hai? That's 12.5.
Yes.
So this is again 21.5, and that's 39.5.
18.
So that's 18. As I say, you're being asked to plot a graph as well for this, and you have to choose the scale of the temperature change. के कहाँ से 0 से दिया हुआ है, so you have to, it's going up till temperature change, right? It goes from, so the maximum is 20, right? So basically you have to plot 20, so 10, that's 20. So I can take this as 10 and this one as S20, ठीक है? So this will be 15 and this will be 5 in the middle, okay? So starting, I'm going to plot these values quickly. So 4.5, then 6.5, right? So 4.5, 1 gram per 4.5. So no, 1 gram it was 4.5. So where would you have 4.5? 4.5 would be, I think, over here. फिर कितने grams पे था? 6.5. अच्छा, फिर उसके बाद 0.5 के हिसाब से. So at 1.5, it's 6.5, then 9. So what's 6.5? I think that's 6.5, and then at 2, it's going to be 2 पे 9 होगा. और उसके बाद क्या है? That's 11, 12.5. Difference कितना है? अच्छा, 11, 12.5 वो 0.5 का ही है. So what's 11? 11 would be this, and then at 3 it's going to be 12.5. So that's 11, 12, 12.5. Okay, see that is 4. The last one is at 4. 4 pe it's going to be 18. So that at 4 it's going to be 18. 18 will be what? 16, 17, and then 18. Anyway, so draw a straight line. Straight line ka matlab hai with the ruler too. So you're going to take a ruler and you're going to draw a straight line of best fit, and you're going to try and ensure that most points are on the line. Okay, equal number of points above and below the line. So I guess something similar to this. Okay, use your ruler. Make sure it's not important that all the points are on the line or any of the points are on the line. Okay, that they should be equally scattered on the line on either side. Now, from your graph, reduce the temperature change when 3.2 grams of anhydrous lithium chloride is dissolved in 30 cm cube. So 3.2 के ऊपर 3.2 will be, this is 3.1, this is 3. So this is 3.2. So क्या value आ रही है? That's what? 14. ठीक है, 14 ही है ना?
I got 14.2.
So ठीक है. Next part is estimate the temperature change if experiment 6 was repeated using 60 cm cube water instead of 30. अच्छा, तो हाँ, ये अब थोड़ा common sense use करते हैं. अब वो कह रहा है कि what if you had doubled the amount of water that you were using? मतलब यहाँ पे ना, कहाँ गया हमारा experiment? Instead of 30 cm cube, you're using 60 cm cube. What effect will that have on the temperature change? ज़्यादा होगा, कम होगा?
Less.
less होगा, ठीक है? Remember कि if it's a larger volume of water, it's going to ज़्यादा energy चाहिए होती है, ठीक है? So the temperature change would be less. So you're going to have lesser temperature change, exactly half होगा. Almost half, as more energy would be needed. So as more energy would be needed to heat the water. As a part, I suggest two changes that could be made to the apparatus to improve the accuracy of the results. For each change, explain why it improves the accuracy. As accuracy, so use a more accurate apparatus. अच्छा, इसमें पहले बताओ inaccuracy की source क्या होगी? You're measuring temperature change. Whenever you're trying to measure temperature change, what is the major source of inaccuracy?
The measurement?
नहीं, वैसे temperature जब आप measure कर रहे होते हैं ना,
Or heat loss?
heat loss, right? So heat loss is one of the major sources. So put an insulating jacket, put a lid on top of it so that there's no heat energy is not lost. Okay, so that is one thing. The other thing is you can improve the app. Or you can improve the thermometer, use a more accurate thermometer that could be used as well. Okay, so prevent heat loss. एक लिख दो change one. Prevent heat loss. Use a more accurate, insulating jacket, etc. The second one is thermometer, more accurate thermometer. इसका वैसे देख लेते हैं उसने exactly क्या लिखा हुआ है उसमें. Insulation, lid, reduce heat loss. That's one. Also some water की measurement को accurate कर दिया, not the thermometer. ठीक है? I'm pretty sure the thermometer would be right as well. But in this case, he's saying कि भाई ये जो पानी measure किया था ना, water 30 cm3. What did he use? Measuring cylinder, right? ठीक है, I didn't see the measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder, remember, is not a very accurate device. A more accurate way of measuring the amount of water is a burette. तो उससे measure कर लो, ठीक है? तो वो एक source of inaccuracy थी. ठीक है, is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
अच्छा, अगला last one, qualitative analysis, which is basically salt analysis. The solution A and B were analyzed. Solution A was copper 2 bromide. So we know okay, A के अंदर there's copper ions and there's bromide ions. We don't know what B is. Complete the expected results. Solution A was divided into 3 equal portions. The end of a piece of wire was dipped into the first portion of solution A. The end of the wire was then placed at the edge of a roaring Bunsen flame. ठीक है, ये पहला पार्ट है. तो मैं साथ ही ना वो खोल लेता हूँ कि where's the salt analysis data sheet. अच्छा इसमें ना first thing, remember the flame test. When you put a wire in a hot flame, that's a flame test. Copper ions होंगे ना, so it's going to be a blue green flame. That's what's going to happen in this case. ठीक है, पहला part. The observation is when you put it in a rolling Bunsen flame, because it's got copper ions, it's going to have a blue green flame. Is that clear?
Yes.
ये डेटा शीट याद रखनी है आपने और कुछ भी नहीं करना है इसको. Just make sure you remember all these tests and observations. अगला part, the second portion, ammonia was added dropwise until in excess. So it contains copper ions. So when you add ammonia, what happens? किधर गया वो cations? अच्छा, when you add ammonia, this part, so copper ions के साथ क्या होगा? You're going to get a blue precipitate, which will be soluble in excess, giving a dark blue solution. So that's what the result is. So, or until in excess. So first thing is you're going to get a pale blue precipitate. Which dissolves in excess. It's giving a deep blue solution. The third portion, he added nitric acid followed by silver nitrate. Silver nitrate जब आप add करते हो, that's a test for halides. ये वाले Cl-1, Br-1, I-1. If you add nitric acid followed by silver nitrate, you get these precipitates. हमारे case में we've got Br-1, so we are expected to see a green precipitate. तो यहाँ पे ठीक है, clear है. बस वो टेस्ट अगर याद है, you just have to write the observations. Is that clear?
Yes.
अच्छा, अगला part. कहाँ गया? अगला part. अच्छा, B का नहीं पता, but the observations are given. So first part is universal. As a first part, solid B was divided into 15 cm cube of water, added to 15 cm cube of water. A bung was placed and it was shaken to dissolve. So pani ka dissolve kar diya. Solution B was divided into 3 portions. First portion was, when universal indicator goes blue, what does that mean? Acid है या base? It's an alkali
Base.
and so it's an alkali and so it probably contains OH ions. Not sure, maybe it contains. He's only looking for the, he hasn't even asked for anything yet. To the second portion of solution B, NaOH was added dropwise. You get a white precipitate, which remained when excess, so it's not soluble. So white precipitate that is not soluble with NaOH. तो क्या है NaOH? ये NaOH है. So white precipitate soluble in excess. White precipitate, so it could be calcium ions. और कौन होता है white precipitate? Calcium ही रहेगा ना पीछे. This is also soluble in excess, so you're just left with calcium. तो इससे वैसे confirm हो गया, it's got calcium ions. And then he adds ammonia was added and then in excess, and the solution remains colorless. So calcium confirm हो गया, no precipitate or a very slight, so it remains colorless. तो यहाँ पे लिखा है no precipitate, right? So it remains colorless. So that kind of confirms it's calcium. So reduce the pH of solution B to, I think, 13. Identify solid B, that's calcium and probably hydroxide. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
अच्छा, अब एक और जो आखिरी क्वेश्चन है जो 6 marks का होता है. So fizzy drinks contain carbon dioxide dissolved in a liquid. The carbon dioxide gas can be removed from the fizzy drink by heating. Plan an investigation to find the volume of carbon dioxide gas in 1 dm cube of fizzy drink. Include in your answer how you will calculate the volume of carbon dioxide gas dissolved in 1 dm cube of fizzy drink. You are provided with a sample of the fizzy drink. तो अब आप क्या करोगे? Let's say you take 100 cm cube sample of fizzy drink or put it in a, उसको heat करने को कहा था उसने, so put it in a boiling flask. ये इसी के अंदर रख लो heat gently, ठीक है? What will happen is उससे क्या, it contains carbon dioxide which gets released. So what you now have to do is you have to, इधर से बंद कर दो, so you have to collect the carbon dioxide gas. So I guess that's it. तो plan is investigation to उसको step wise कर दो कि 100 cm cube fizzy drink लेना है. There would be readings on this tube and बस और तो कुछ भी नहीं करना है, यही करना है, ठीक है? मतलब ये क्लियर है अभी, ये क्लियर है, इसका वो देख लेते हैं breakup of marks. You have to write everything in small details. But is this part clear?
Yes.
Yes.
तो इसका अब देख लेते हैं कि what, अच्छा, specified volume we did that. Warm heating we did that. In a suitable container, ठीक है, that's, we took a volumetric flask. Gas or in a gas range, ठीक है, we did that as well. हाँ, ये नहीं किया हमने कि wait, you're gonna wait till there are no more bubbles formed, ठीक है? You're gonna record the volume of gas और फिर वो extrapolate भी करना है, ठीक है? तो apparatus के हद तक तो सब कुछ, everything was fine. And you had to label them, everything had to be labeled. Okay, this was a gas range. This was a conical flask, not a volumetric flask. तो हैंग ही हो गया. और बाकी बस ये कि वो extrapolate भी करना है कि you found it in 100 cm cube, right? So you're going to multiply it by 10 to find it in 1 dm cube. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
बस ठीक है, ये फिर लास्ट पार्ट था, ठीक है? इसको, इसमें आखिरी वाले में ना बस मेक श्योर कि लेबलिंग पूरी कंप्लीट हो. मैंने तो बस जल्दी जांच करने के लिए किया, लेकिन याद रखो कि लेबलिंग कंप्लीट हो. वो स्टेप वाइज लिख भी दो कि आप हीट करोगे, ठीक है? वो लिख भी दोगे किससे हीट करोगे, बंसन बर्नर, ठीक है? मे बी बंसन बर्नर, पुट इट. तो बस ठीक है, चलिए ठीक है, ओके देन, कल पे करते हैं, ठीक है? ये पूरा पेपर कंप्लीट हो गया.
Okay, sir. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, sir. Okay.